Yeah, looks about right. Spotify. Yesterday I found out how better to use their playlists. So I'm almost completely happy with Spotify now. You can make playlists work like folders in Windows. And it's what I'm used to, it's what I like. And being a control freak, I like to have things in the right places. It would have driven me mad just to go all the way down. So that's good. So I've got 3 big blocks now to start with, and we'll see how we go. Arabic music, which will be undoubtedly my biggest category, then Indian music, and then I'll put the third category, which is white music. In white music, as I say, I've really not listened to anything for 30 years, so I'm just going in and exploring, and Tori Amos is the only thing that I've put in there that I've found that's of the ones that I believe she's famous. I found a couple that probably aren't famous. Anyway. Right, on this one, this is in The Guardian, and it's about wearing hijabs and niqabs and assorted Muslim wear at school in Britain. And it went on and on. I'll give you the idea. I think the article was that a school kind of did their own thing and said banned it, and the parents went, oh, all right then. But then later, a more militant bunch of Muslims came along and put pressure on the school and changed it. And then the girls were allowed to wear whatever they wanted, as in they would come to all covered up. And they were coming in covered up, to a young age, as young as 8. And everybody went on saying how I'm on the 3rd page of this. I rarely go down to the 3rd page, but it's obviously people are a bit worked up about it, and understandably too. It's a big thing point. I'll do France later. But I think on the 3rd page, the first person has come up with what, for my mind, is the most important thing here. All the others were arguing about women's rights, and is it a women's right that they should, etc., all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying they're right or wrong or whatever. I think this is just the more important thing, and it starts off with the key message it sends, which is, I think, the key message is the important thing. If there is a uniform policy, as in school uniform policy, in the UK most of the schools have school uniforms, where they don't in France, and I don't know if they do where you are. If there is a uniform policy, giving way after there is a uniform policy, tell young Muslims that their faith is a trump card which can be used to override the rules that other people are subjected to. Now, besides the problematic thing that using the word trump card is now, it confuses people because you say Trump and they think they're off to it. But you can see there's a uniform ban. The uniform ban is trumped by a religious outcry, and then this overrides the rules that other people are subject to. And does he go on? I think he says more sense here. Trying to impose one rule for all just leads community leaders jumping on the bandwagon to make it clear that faith trumps secular rules, or anything. Nothing should be able to, in the people's mind, trump the law, the rules, because everybody wants to make their own laws up, but everybody kind of understands that they should be subject to the same rules that everybody else is. Now, if anybody anyhow can bring out a trump card, a joker, get out a jail free card, and say, I can get around the law because of this, that is such a powerful weapon that it will be used. And it just has to be squidged right at base and say no trump cards. Everybody is under the same law, and you don't have trump cards. I believe here in France that the big law people in Paris for the whole country set the law that you can't wear silly hats. You know, you can't wear a turban if you're a Sikh. You can't wear a little Jewish sit on your head hat. The Christian girls can't even wear crosses around their girls or boys, can't wear crucifixes when they go to school, and the Muslims certainly can't do any of their covering up sort of things. Now, this is drastic, I understand that, but it seems to be a fair enough thing to say that in a secular country, France, religion should have no place in schools, which are paid for by the state, and it's a state thing. And we'll keep it religion free until you leave school, and then you're old enough to wear whatever you like. And obviously in your evenings when you're not at school, you can also wear whatever you like. Here in France they don't, certainly around here, and I've not seen anybody wearing school uniforms. It's just not what they do. And I won't go into how much of this is it was discussed in the comments earlier in The Guardian that a lot of the girls will obviously be wearing it because their friends are wearing a pretty scarf, and you want to do what your friends do. But we'll forget that and go back to this fella who I think gets the main point is there should be no trump cards against the law. You can't pull out your race card, you can't pull out your religion card, you can't pull out any card. The law is the law for everyone. Okay, fair enough. What do you think? What's this one? Oh, yeah, just where this one started. It's robots. The article's called, if it'll bother to come up, it's called Robots Will Take Your Job or something. And comments are having trouble loading. So I'll have to go backwards and forwards. And it was just the first two comments just seemed enough. I actually had the idea of making this video longer and bringing in other points, but the top comment is automation is happening now. I bring this up because we've talked of it before. So, that's always tricky. That's a so there, so's are bad, but let him go on. So someone please explain the theory that we need to bring in 100,000 or hundreds of thousands of extra people every year to boost our economy. They will, or are, just coming to join the dole queues of the very near future. I've seen fish with better long-term planning than Western governments are currently showing. It's a fair point. If you agree that robots are going to take over everything, what's the point of bringing all these extra hundreds of thousands in? I don't know if I said in a video. Somebody brought up a thing that the population of the UK has increased by 6 million over the last, I think I did, I said it, in the last 6 million since 2000, and the population of Germany has increased by 250,000. So UK up 6 million, Germany up 250,000. So the main comment number 2 replying to that opening one is re-quoting the writing of someone please explain the theory that we need to bring in hundreds of thousands of extra people every year to boost our economy. This commenter says we have a skills shortage and need skilled workers. That's explaining what these hundreds of thousands are. They're skilled workers. Robots will replace unskilled workers. Now this is a very, very big point. My question here in this video, is that even right? And I don't think it is even right. I think in the short to medium term, the biggest disruption by robots and AI will be to the skilled workers and not to the unskilled workers. companies will continue to use labour as long as it's cheap, rather than bring robots in, but will replace the upper middle class, whatever we want to call them, the skilled workers, the doctors, accountants, solicitors, legal people, that sort of people. Those sort of people, the skilled workers, are going to be the main people challenged by AI and robots, or robotic AI, rather than the unskilled workers. And quite what that means for bringing population in or not needs to be thought about. Yeah? Okay.